All right, y'all. Welcome back to Deliverance is the Children's Bread podcast. Today I have my friend Jodi Fernandez here. Jodi, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm well. Um, I want to jump right in. I'm going to ask you a question because and I've spoken to you about this before, and we spoke about this yesterday. Gifts. Now, you're quite a bit of an encourager. Where did that gift come from for you? When did you notice that, like, that's something that you do for people, like you pour into them, you encourage them? When did you like notice, like, wow, this is something that it just comes natural to me?
I don't think I noticed it honestly until someone told me. A friend of mine told me, you know, anytime you speak to me or you lift me up, I just feel like I could do anything. And then I took it that way. And then
Mm-hmm.
I realized, okay, well, obviously me motivating him is helping. So I just continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started hearing it from other people. And then I was like, okay, well, this is my gift.
Wow. I'll be honest. There was a day where I was actually feeling like fairly low. I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but you said something and it just made my day. Like whatever I was feeling, like as far as like feeling low, like what you said, like just like it almost like breathed the air of like belief and hope into me. So I've benefited from your gift. So I just wanted to give you your flowers for that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I have a random question. You said this before. You said you like watching like deliverance videos.
Yes.
What do you like about watching deliverance videos? I'm curious.
I don't know. I just feel like it's just so real to see it. And I feel like it's something people kind of shy from, like deliverances. People look at it in like a bad notion. And
Mm-hmm.
I just like to see it. I think just seeing someone being delivered and then starting their change in their life is really inspiring to see.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, like I know there's a lot of like controversy around deliverances being filmed, people's privacy and things like that. So like when you shared that, I was actually like curious, like why does she like to watch deliverance videos? Like and like granted, I'll be honest, my personal opinion is that like the only reason we know that anybody got delivered in scripture is because it was recorded.
Very true.
I'm just going to throw that out there. You know, it's like there would like it may not have been filmed because they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have cameras back then, but like it was documented
Mm-hmm.
in a way, and that's the only way we know about it. So I find it interesting when like people make that argument. I'm like, I understand, but in the same notion, like there is a biblically things were recorded.
Yeah, I think too, like, God has a way of like when he wants certain things to be seen by certain people as well. And then I feel like it's no different than going to church and being recorded.
Mm,
So it's just, but if someone isn't comfortable, that's another thing too. I would
hmm
take that into consideration. But to me, it's like, you when you go to church on Sunday and everyone's being recorded. So it's
yeah,
the same.
it's funny you say that. Like so I've done lives like this before, and
Mm-hmm.
I've done lives where like people come on
Mm-hmm.
live and they know they're coming on live and they know there are people watching on the other side of a screen and they get delivered on live. And then what's happened is in post production, I take the snippet of them getting delivered and I post it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've had some people come back and say like, can you take that down? I want that to be private. Blah, blah. I'm like, you came live. Like you've already been seen. Anyway, that's an aside. I just think that it's just interesting the way some people think. I did take the video down too, by the way, just for all intents and purposes. But if you're listening and you come on live and you know you're going to be in front of people, like, just know that you're going to be in front of people. But back to you. Have you had like, because one of the things I teach is like holistic deliverance. So like, there's emotional deliverance, there's mental deliverance, there's spiritual deliverance, there's physical deliverance, there's deliverance from situations and environments, there's deliverance from world structures, like economical structures. There's deliverance from yourself, like old mindsets that don't work with where God is taking you. And there's also deliverance from people in your life that shouldn't be there. And we talked a little bit about this in Bible study. You said something so powerful. I'm trying to remember exactly the way you said it, but you were talking about how sometimes people are an assignment in our lives, but we take it too far. I would love to hear your breakdown of that when you said that.
I say that because oftentimes I think, God sends us people that we're supposed to help. Mm-hmm. And then some people may, take the intimacy of being with them and catch feelings, or it just goes on another course. But it's no different, like, when you hear people say, you're either a brother in Christ or my husband. There's no in between. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's just having boundaries on a person of like how far to take it or where to take it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But I feel like too, God will help guide you. And then most times, like, that's why I think it's very important when you talk about understanding your assignment. So that way you'll kind of see where it should pivot with the person.
Yes.
That way you're not in a sticky situation at the end and then you end up heartbroken or all the above because you took it too far.
Has that ever happened to you where like the lines have been like blurred within an assignment?
Honestly, I think I've just started noticing like my assignment. I think you did help a lot with like clearing and just saying that everyone in your life is an assignment. It's just identifying on what. But I think I'm pretty good with like keeping my foot down with certain things. So I think it makes it easier. Like, I don't like to be clouded with my judgment and I don't like to be confused. So I try to stay aligned. So I don't have to worry about that.
Alignment. I love that word. That's so interesting. And it's really important because wherever your assignment is, that's where the enemy's going to try and attack you.
Very true.
So, and I've experienced this in my assignment, like wherever you're assigned, that's where you're going to get attacked the most. And like, for me, like the area of like, betrayal, rejection, like I think about Moses and like he was sent to like deliver the children of Israel. But like when he got there, at first, he kind of made things harder for them because he told Pharaoh like, hey, let my people go. And Pharaoh was like, I'm just going to triple their labor now. And then the Israelites looked at Moses like, just stay away from us. But God told him to stay in his place. So sometimes it can be really hard because the same people that you're sent to help can also be the same ones to reject you.
Yeah, that's very true.
Have you ever experienced that?
I feel like everyone does. Of course, like when you want better for someone, sometimes they may not see it in the same notion. They may think you're like attacking them or you're just judging them or whatever the case is. But oftentimes, if they don't realize in that moment, they realize after the fact. But also, God does speak about knowing when to let go of a person if you're just repeating something to them and they're not understanding. You can't, what do they say, take a horse to drink water? You can't force a horse to drink water. So you could only pour into people as much as you can before it starts becoming draining to you. And then at that point, you just know what you have to do for yourself.
Is that hard? Has that ever been like hard for you to like let go of somebody when you realize like, oh, okay, yeah, there's we're not going to make any more progress here, probably.
Honestly, no. I think I'm very self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of kind of having expectations for someone or just thinking like, oh, well, this is what I think of them potentially being, I just, instead of like kind of being delusional with thinking like that, I just kind of take it for what it is. And of course, everyone's like everyone has changed. Everyone can
Mm-hmm.
change, but we can't change them. God has to
Mm-hmm.
change them, and they have to want that change within themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you encourage how you can, and sometimes when you realize, okay, like I'm encouraging them, there's really nothing else from what I could do physically, then you just pray spiritually, take it spiritually. You just
Wow.
pray. You pray that God changes them, or you pray that God reveals things to them that they never noticed.
Mm-hmm.
That way they could keep walking with them.
I like that. That's good. Speaking of change, how would you say that God has changed your life, like let's say over the span of like the last couple of years?
I would say in my period of unemployment,
Mm-hmm.
I think before then I was very fast and like on my toes and always just was looking for something to do. But I think in that like season of isolation where I literally didn't have a choice to do anything, it helped to bring me closer to my Bible. Like
Mm.
I was consistent with reading my Bible during that time. And that's when I started going to conventions or just conferences. Like I started building an intimate relationship with God. And I think he was trying to like, just show him who identify himself with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think I had that like interpersonal relationship with him. So I think that's where it started. And then overall, it just helps with like building the consistency of it just by starting it there because I literally was doing nothing else. So
Mm.
I just had that one on one time with him.
Wow.
So it did help for me to grow and stay consistent with him. And then that's when I started journaling again.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was reading the Bible,
It's good.
in all honesty, that's when I started really learning the Bible too. Because I
Wow.
started watching The Chosen too. And then I was reading
Mm.
my Bible, and after every chapter, I watched a
Mm-hmm.
video, like to like
Mm.
further understand what I'm watching,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm reading.
Yeah.
So it did help like to break down. I had so much free time, so I was just like, you know what? Let me watch a video on this, or let me watch an episode to just get like a deeper understanding, like but virtually, I guess you
Wow.
could say.
Wow. So like obviously during that point, like nobody wants to be unemployed,
Hmm.
but like it sounds like the Lord used that to like really strengthen your identity in him
Yeah,
during that time.
yeah. I think sometimes too we're in certain situations because well I felt as if he was maybe calling me to do something and
Mm-hmm.
then in that season I wasn't doing it as well, so I'm not saying that like it's his fault I was unemployed. I also think it's my own disobedience,
Mm-hmm.
but I was able to like recognize that as well like in that season.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow. Hey, you said self-aware. That's a very underrated quality, and I think it helps to like accelerate us in life because it's like the quicker you can realize something, and then like okay, let's work through it or let's work past it or whatever the case may be. Um, I like that. Wow. And like you've always had like I'm gonna say like an entrepreneurial shtick. Tell me about that.
I would say I get that from my brother.
Yeah.
Like watching him encourage me because I don't think I've really seen myself as an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the women in my family they work in the healthcare. So
Mm.
randomly, not even randomly, just off of pattern, I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried it. It wasn't for me. So I was like, what else can I do? I went to school, got my degree in business, got my bachelor's in business administration, and then I said the first thing I was saying when I was going through the process was, I'll be able to like help my brother with this, or other businesses would be able to benefit from me getting this degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then throughout the process of that too, I did start businesses and just kind of get a taste of it on my own.
What kind of industry did you start in?
I started with, well, in all honesty, when I was young, me and my cousin, we used to sell shirts. We used to sell shirts. We used to design them and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got a little older, I was having like acne, but it was an acne based off like what I was eating or different things, more like rashes too.
Mm-hmm.
So I started using natural skincare products on my face. My aunt she told me exactly what to use. So I started using it and it worked. And I was like, wow, if it could work on me, it's probably people with the same issues. So I started selling that and that was impactful too for people.
Wow. So you started from like a young age. That's cool. I like that. And we had a very powerful conversation. I definitely sensed it was like led by the Holy Spirit because um you just started talking about like this retreat, this wellness retreat that you wanted to do, which I had no idea about. But as soon as you started talking about it, I was like, I immediately it piqued my interest because I know that that's something that the Lord has shown me that I'm meant to be a part of, like in my time on this earth. And I've had opportunities arise to do it in the past, but it's just like whoever it was, like they just didn't follow through on their end. So it never went anywhere. So like when you brought it up and I was like, listen, like Jodi, I'm all in. Like, like when I say I'm all in, I'm all in. And then you say, you damn Skippy. I was like, say that again, Jodi. He's like, you damn Skippy. I was like, okay, all right, let's do it. And then, so I mean, do you wanna plug a little bit, like give a little sense of like what we got going on, or?
Yes. So the dates will be shared soon, but we're planning a wellness retreat. Everyone's included. So you're going to get some holistic healing, wellness, and spiritual as well. We'll probably throw in something special for everyone in there as well. And it's going to include activities as well. It's going to be very fun. You guys just have to be there.
Incredible.
It's something you're not going to want to miss. Trust
me. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be like around our birthday month.
Yeah.
Because we have the birthday in the same month, so November.
Yes.
November. Beautiful.
The perfect start for the end of the year, going into the new year as well.
Yeah.
So you're wrapping up your year and you're entering your new year, and trust me, you don't want to miss
Hey,
it.
you heard it here first. You heard it here first. So, okay, business partner. Ah, man. I wish I recorded that night. That was perfect.
It was.
Okay, beautiful. So, talk about resetting. Talk about relaxation. Talk about spiritual healing, holistic healing. What is like a message? Because obviously, like there's a lot of sick people in this world, and I don't mean just physically, like mentally, like emotionally. Like there's a lot of broken people, and we see this around us every single day. What is something that you sense is missing from the conversation amongst a lot of these people that would usher in the holistic spiritual healing that like they probably need in order to like, you know, regulate their nervous system and like just step into like a place of wholeness?
I would say sometimes we do need to like stop, pause, and breathe. And I feel like you mentioned the first word, reset. We really have to reset our bodies sometimes. Our body needs a break. We live in such a fast culture where everything's fast paced. Everyone's always on the go. So I think with just really relaxing and reconnecting with God. There's no other way to beat it. You have to include God in it, and it will help. It really will. You feel the change instantly.
And I want to help some people because you spoke about something yesterday, and maybe there's some people watching us right now or on the replay that struggle with this. You mentioned about like your struggle with like codependency. What helped you overcome that?
I would say first, my sister identifying that in me because I've never realized. And then I would say just being comfortable with doing things on my own. So just taking the risk of doing something on my own. I just wasn't trying to include people on a journey that maybe was just personal for me. I had to learn, okay, it's okay to try something by myself. And it helped a lot. I was doing little things, going to the store by myself, or just if there's an event, I would go to an event by myself. Just really depending and like leaning on myself for the first time.
Was that hard at first? Like, how did you actually like amp yourself up to like do it?
You know, the first time I did it, I was on the phone the whole time with my friend. The first time I did it, I told her, I was like, I'm going out to this event. And she's like, who are you going with? I was like, I'm going with myself. She's like, no way. I was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm so proud of you. She was just giving me encouragement the whole phone call. She's like, I'm so proud of you. I can't believe you're doing this. And even till we stood on the phone until I literally reached the event and I got out of the car and we were still on the phone. And I was like, okay, I'm here. She was like, okay, bye. But I think just that helped a lot. With the encouragement over the phone, because she just happened to randomly call me while I was getting ready. She's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know your friends. And it helped a lot. After that, I was like, you know what? I did this so I could do it again.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. So, and it was cool that like you weren't expecting her call. She just called up, but it was like perfect timing to like kind of give you that runway between home base and the event.
Yeah, and I think it worked too because it's my friend Nadi, and we speak a lot. And I think she knew like one of the things like I used to do is like I would want to do something, but if I had no one to do it with, I just wouldn't do it. And that was something also in me that I didn't like. That I had the codependency where I needed someone to do something with me, and if they couldn't come, I was like, you know what, forget it, I just won't go. But I didn't want to live like that anymore. I wanted to actually start achieving things and doing things on my own. And to be honest, everywhere you're going, not everyone could come. So I think we hold ourselves back a lot by waiting for someone to do something with us.
Oof. Jodi, you spoke to my spirit right there. Can you say that one more time?
We hold ourselves back by waiting for someone to do it with us.
That's a word for somebody right now. There's something that God has given you to do. There's an assignment that God has given you to do. And you're waiting for somebody else to come alongside and do it. And the Holy Spirit is saying right now, no, just do the doggone thing.
Do it by yourself.
The right people that are meant to join the project will join the project. But you started.
Amen. I agree. And that's, my brother always says, Jodi will do something. She'll do it. She'll do it very good. She'll do it through. But my biggest thing was starting. I always had an issue with starting things. So that helped too with me just wanting to like venture out. And then it helped me to feel like more reliable on myself and more dependent. And you know, we give all the power to God at the end of the day because He gives us the strength to do stuff. But it's nice to know like, wow, from years ago till now, or whenever like I realized my codependency and just being able to do stuff by myself, it encouraged me. I encouraged myself. I was like, wow, look at me. Like, the next you know, I was hopping on flights by myself. Like, I wasn't worried about, oh my gosh, nobody's here to go with me. I was just doing it.
That's a word for somebody. And I love how you said like you encouraged yourself. Like that's something that David did. in scripture, the Bible literally says, and he encouraged himself. And this was at a point, it was at a very low point where like he was being hunted to like be killed. And like, think of how low you must feel like when your life is being hunted, but like the Lord literally, like the Bible literally says he encouraged himself. So that's important. And it speaks to, this is like a word that the Lord gave me for this year, that I was going to need like a greater level of mental toughness because of like some things that I'm going to walk through this year and I'm walking through this year presently. It requires like a mental grit, just the ability to be gritty and just keep slinging like amidst like whatever chaos comes. So I think that's a very important thing that you just mentioned that we all need to learn how to do.
I agree. Because I feel like even with me like not working and being at peace, like that was all I felt whenever I did pick up the Bible, I felt at peace. Whenever I wasn't in the Bible, my head was spinning everywhere. But when I opened the Bible, I was at peace. And then it was like, I felt like I was being rewarded, like, because I was able to do certain things after the fact. So I was like, oh, God is really a girl dad.
Wow.
He takes care of us.
Wow. Okay, the word let go is coming to my mind. So when we talk about reset, what are some things you believe are common things that like, or unique things that like we as God's chosen need to let go of in this season?
I really can't say for anyone personally, but I feel it's just whatever you feel like you have on your spirit and you know like the Lord needs you to break away from. Like you'll feel it. You'll kind of know. Because like I said, it's different for everyone to say. Like I can't necessarily say what someone else has to let go, but you know when God's calling you to do it because it may not feel right anymore, or you may just feel like, what's the point of this? And it may have been something that you were like overly obsessed with.
Is there something that sticks out for yourself, like in this season, where you like sense like the Lord's like, maybe like leave that behind because where I'm taking you, like that's not going to be needed. Does anything stand out for you?
I wouldn't say that I identified as of yet, but I would say something that he probably encouraged me to do throughout the years. Well, throughout this year is kind of just keep going, being consistent. That's why it's like my biggest focus this year is consistency. Because I know like I had a dream. Can't tell you the date that I had a dream, but I know I had a dream. And the Lord was like literally showing me like, this is what I have for you. But if you work towards it, you'll get it.
Wow.
And then I like woke up and I was like, wow. And it's crazy because right when I had that dream, my room was a mess. And he literally woke me up from my sleep and he was like, clean your room. And I was like, okay, let me get up and clean my room. And I cleaned my room. And then I was just more clear-minded.
That is very powerful, Jodi. So he gave you a dream, said, this is what I have for you. And if you work towards it, you're going to get it.
And I would say too as well, like I was a little bit in a funk during that time too. So it was like encouraging for me to know like, wow, let me get up and really just clean this room to see what else he has for me. I clean my room because when I clean my room, it's like a reset for me. Like when I clean my room, it's like the start of something. Like when I clean my room, I usually clean my car at the same time. And then I start like writing in my calendar, or it's just like a whole process that comes with me cleaning my room.
Like a chain of events.
Exactly. A chain of events.
Wow. That's very prophetic. Was that this year?
Did I have the dream?
Yeah.
No. Last year. But I always remember. It was last year. I don't remember what time last year. But I remember when I had it, I was like, let me get up right now. So.
No, that's I actually, okay, so there's so many places we can go with this, but like what you just said is so important. And I actually want to like pause and like stay on this because the Lord showed you something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you woke up and then you noticed that your room was messy. Now, in the dream, he showed you, this is what I have for you. And if you go after it, you're going to get it. Here's where I go with this. There's some people that are listening right now that the Lord has also given them something to go after. I'm in kingdom business. I'm all about, in fact, I think I just posted something like go after the kingdom. Like the Bible literally says, seek first the kingdom of God. What does it mean to seek first the kingdom? Like go after it, like go for it, like seek it, do something like what is in the kingdom that God has for you. So I love that when you came out of the dream, the first thing that you saw as an opportunity was an action. And like you said, that action was like a chain of events. So there's somebody listening right now. The Lord's given you a dream, and that dream is an instruction. That dream is like a roadmap. But that roadmap doesn't get applied for you until you wake up and do something that aligns with that in the natural world.
I agree.
So I just think that that's very important because I think there's a lot of us that God has chosen, but we're sitting on our dreams. We're sitting on our goals. We're sitting on like what he gave us to do. But it could be something as simple as cleaning your room that starts a chain of events.
Something. Because the Lord knows us and he knows our hearts and he knows what keeps us going. So I think it's very important to identify how God blesses you or how God may be speaking to you in that moment as well. And that could kind of help.
Yeah.
Pattern recognition.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, why did he show me this? Mm-hmm. What's significant about the timing of like where? That's why I'd be interested to know like what time of year did you have this dream? But like things like that, like it, and it's funny. We talked about this on the podcast the other day. It's like go back to that encounter that you had with the Lord. Like, why did he choose to show up to you in this way? Mm-hmm. What is it that he's trying to tell you about you through how he chose to appear to you? These are all things that are extremely important because they're clues. But it takes for us to like take interest and then actually like do the research. Like I have dreams where I have to sit down and do research. Like, why did he show me this old friend from high school? What does their name mean? I'm doing like one-on-one dream interpretation right now for anybody. Sometimes the reason people that you see from the past that are in your dreams, there's a significance in their name. Their name means something and it's a clue as to what God is telling you. What setting did you see them in? How did you feel when you saw them? Like all of these things like come into account. So if you're somebody that has a lot of dreams, like definitely keep a dream journal. That's important. I got a few more questions for you. So we're talking about going after the kingdom. How long have you wanted to do something like a retreat, like what we're planning? How long has that like been circulating?
Honestly, I would say it's been something that I've wanted to do since I've started with the agency, but it wasn't like a demand. Like it wasn't really high priority. It was more of like something that was lower priority because I knew like this is a lot to do and I never did it before. So I guess I was kind of like putting it in the back burner until I felt probably comfortable enough. But it was something definitely I would love to do. It just, I never really had a date on it.
So what you're saying, like the one that we're doing this November, it's going to be your first one.
It will be. Not my first booking, but definitely my first doing this for myself. Yeah. But I've done group bookings, just never personally for myself.
Right. Where you're like
involved.
You're hosting
Exactly.
a group of people that are coming to a place for a very specific reason, and you're facilitating, you're hosting, you're inviting them to come. That's very bold, number one. That's very admirable, number two. And I would put that in the category of radical obedience. Because like I don't believe that idea just came to you out of nowhere. Like, I believe that was a God inspired idea.
I agree.
And the fact that you're going to act on it this year, and it's your first time, like, in this capacity. Is this your first time on a podcast?
It is also my first time on a podcast.
Yo, if anybody's listening, clap your hands for Jodi right now. Clap your hands for Jodi right now. This is her first time on a podcast. Like, God's really telling you to show up in this season, isn't he?
He sure is.
How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I feel good to be, chosen to do certain things. Makes you feel like fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited because I know none of this is like for us personally. And then it just makes you feel good because, during the process, like, you're going to encourage so many people, or you're just going to, probably open a new light for people. So it's fun. But instead of doing it maybe in the way I was doing before, I'm doing it with meaning and with purpose. So feels very right.
I like that. So anybody that's listening right now, like, you see the boldness, and it's like a gentle boldness. I like that. It's like poised. You didn't even have to come in guns blazing. You just come on in. Just,
very
hey, y'all, I'm here. I like that. I like that a lot. So, and this is encouraging somebody, Jodi. I want you to know, somebody's literally, like, you're changing somebody's life right now just by your openness and your vulnerability to share your journey, even to this present time. That's what people are looking for. That's what people like. They want to see the vulnerability. They want to see, like, okay, this person can get on my level because they've walked through some things, and they're walking through some things. They're saying to be bold, but they are also being bold. They're telling me to take a step, but they're also taking a step. People see that. So I know that that's something that is going to impact anybody that's watching right now and anybody that's going to watch on the replay. But okay, real quick, Epstein files. Anything we watch, there was like the, what was it, Bad Bunny performance and all that stuff. And like, I think was that files mentioned or referenced at all in that performance?
No, that's my knowledge.
No. Okay. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Like, with the files coming out, to my knowledge, I haven't really seen too much of a reaction at all. Except for, like, people on the social media making comments, whatever. But as far as, like, government, law enforcement, like, not really. I personally, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm ignorant, but, like, what is your take on that, both naturally and spiritually? I'm curious.
That's a deep dive. That's a conversation for another day, because that will be here all night. I feel like, Lord, God just has to come and get us soon, because it's crazy out here. It's real crazy out here.
It is crazy out here. Okay, I hit you. I know I hit you with a sidebar. I was like, I'm a catcher with a sidebar. See where she go with it. But
oh boy, that is a lot to unpack.
It is. We'll leave it for another time. But listen, I wanna thank you for coming and doing this with me. Listen, y'all, you'll see some more content come out soon. You'll hear more about the retreat soon. It's gonna be in November. Can we say, like, the state it's gonna be in?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be in Arizona. you don't want to miss this. It's like, this is the kind of reset you need going into 2027. Okay. 7 is the number of completion. You want to be at this retreat going into 2027. Every crossover year is spiritual, and you got to be spiritually ready for like what you're about to step into, purpose, assignment, your calling, like whatever it is. So, you'll see more coming on, out on that soon. But until then, thank you, Jodi. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. All right, y'all. My name is Joshua David James. And as always, I will see you on the next live. Take care. God bless.